Who?
I'm with El Grito.
El Grito. Okay. Okay. Bye, Miss Lane. Okay.
Hi, I wanted to, if you can give me your name and your
Sure.
title.
I'm Laurie Weahkee. I'm Diné Coach Tianzuni, and I work as director for the Native American Voters Alliance.
Okay, and why is it important for you to support VAWA, to support that it stays being a law?
Yeah. It's extremely important. I mean, we're talking about some real basic protections. We're talking about violence, and the fact that, you know, when violence is committed, that we as Americans should be there and available to do our best to implement justice, right? Which means we need to fund the VAWA, the Violence Against Women Act. We need to make sure that that bill, or that act, I guess, stays in place to really serve and help those victims that need the help. The fact that, you know, this bill has been consistently passed throughout the years, there's never been a question about it until this, you know, extremist GOP Congress, and I'm concerned that Steve Pierce, our congressman from New Mexico, is also voting along these lines. The facts are, you know, here in New Mexico we do have a lot of domestic violence. A lot of it that doesn't even get reported. You know,
Why do you think that is especially a problem for the Native American communities? And what kind of protections is VAWA
So what VAWA was supposed to do with the added protections, I guess, for the Native community is to allow that if any perpetrator of a crime or violence against women and or children was non-Indian, that they could be pursued and taken to court, or, you know, those sorts of things. Those were the added protections, because there's a lot of jurisdictional issues. So basically, if the crime was committed on a reservation by a non-Indian against a Native woman, they have the ability to just leave the reservation and not be prosecuted. That there's no sort of connecting long arm of the law to make sure that you know, the violence that's committed on the reservation can be that the perpetrators can be brought to justice, right? And so that's in essence like what we're our community is really concerned about, that needs to be included because there is such a high degree of violence in many of our reservation communities, and you know, the people within the communities, the Native communities that are trying their best to make sure that we keep our communities safe, understand that, you know, it's not right? It's not fair, it's not right that that sort of thing can happen within our own jurisdiction, and, you know, we're not able to prosecute that. So for us, that's our concern about, along with everything else. Like, we really are concerned about all these different marginalized communities. And again, just to make the point that I'm really upset. I'm very angry about the fact that Congressman Pierce is playing politics with all this. Like, they're just sort of voting to be contrary.
How's the Native American population reacting to this, to the situation?
There's different ways. I think a lot of the justice community, a lot of the Native women, health wellness sorts of groups know about this issue, and they are, in fact, there has been a response. I think the National Congress of American Indians has also put forth some statements and put some pressure on the congressional, you know, the House of Representatives to implement and to pass this law. So I know that nationally, and even a lot of the local wellness groups, women's groups, are exerting some pressure on this to get this bill passed. A lot of our communities depend upon, you know, this sort of funding, this sort of help.